Let's talk about the first 6 measures of Blue Rhapsody, arranged by Martha Meyer. While I drink my coffee, as some of you know, I'm getting over double ear infection and sinusitis, and my voice isn't great. So if I have to drink some coffee, please pardon me. So we're talking about the left hand first. And what you'll notice first in the music is we have repeated notes. So, and they're quite low on the bass staff. You've got these low notes here. These are C's and G's, okay? You just have to pay attention to which C's and G's they are on the keyboard. So you've got a G way down here, and then you've got the G down here, and then you go back and forth. Sometimes you're up here. So each measure starts and ends with those C's and G's. You just have to pay attention to which one it is down here. The other chords in the middle of the measures are mostly sevenths. A seventh is, here's an octave, okay, that's an eighth. A seventh is just one smaller. So in the first measure, you've got 2 seventh chords. The first one is this, with B on the top. You can build your seventh from there. So that's the first. I think it's easier to build it from the top. That's your strong finger up there, so you can sort of anchor yourself there and build down. Notice it's made of skips. We're skipping these keys here, okay? It's a nice jazzy chord. So this is, now you'll notice my fingering. I'm using 1, 2, 3, 5. The music calls for 1, 2, 4, 5. I find that awkward, which is why I use 3. Use whichever one you like. So that's the first chord. Then we step up. Okay? If we skip over to the second measure, we start again with that same 7th chord that's got B on the top. The next chord is just a plain D minor chord. This is measure 2. Measure 3, we're back to those same chords from measure 1. Measure 4, we're back to the same chords from measure 2 with the D minor. Measure 5, it's the same as measure 1. And measure 6, finally, we start with an E minor, just a plain E minor root chord. Then you go forward and you see one note changes, that's the top note. Then you go forward and you see one note changes, that's the bottom note that becomes a flat. So that's the basics of the left hand. Excuse me. Sorry. Okay, so I'll run through the left hand again. The beginning of each measure and the end of each measure, beats 1 and beat 4, are always a C and a G that we talked about. And then in the middle, you fill in with those chords that we just ran through. So I'm going to go through this very slowly, starting at measure 1, ending with measure 6. Notice it's very repetitive. Here comes measure 6. I've used the pedal markings in the music, and I think they work pretty well. We can always tweak those later. It's always good to work on your pedaling technique. And as I suggested, one last thing for the first 6 measures, in the right hand, you can just start learning this little theme, because that happens a lot throughout the rest of this song. So if you can just put this much, it happens 2 times in those 6 measures. If you can just put that together with the left hand, here's what it'll sound like. So if you can just get used to doing that, then we'll work some more on the right hand next time.